Hi everyone, welcome to Homerino Collectibles, and today we're going to be taking a look at the all-new X-Men Marvel Legends box set Angel figure. But before we get into the figure, let's take a look at the box and some size comparisons. Okay, so first up we're going to take a look at the box, and it looks absolutely fantastic for a display. It says all new X-Men, says Marvel Legends, you've got the sticker there for the Toys R Us exclusive. Extremely nice display artwork. It is actually the cover art of the new comics. So yeah, extremely nice. So it's held on via Velcro, and when we open it up, you can see the figures inside. They look absolutely awesome as well. I would say definitely this is probably the best way to display these guys. But if we move this box over to the right a little bit, you can also see there it's exactly the same artwork as on the front of the box, except it now says, "With mutants on the brink of civil war, heroes from the past are summoned to protect the future." And then you have Marvel's Angel, Marvel Girl, Marvel's Cyclops, Iceman, and Marvel's Beast. So very nice. It's just an expanded version of the front artwork. If we move it around to the back now, you can see it says exactly the same at the top there. So I do wish that they had come up with a different line. But now you actually see all of the figures themselves. So very nice. I do kind of find it strange that while Cyclops and Iceman are looking at the camera, they couldn't make these three look at the camera. But either way, box looks really great, so let's move on. And here they all are out of packaging, and first thing, they look absolutely fantastic together. These figures should be kept together as a set, whether it be in the box or on display. They really do look awesome together. However, the belts is the one thing that you can see when they're all together that is different. So Jean's belt, it's made slightly different to the others. It's not just one bit of flat plastic, it has the rim on it, but we'll get closer to that. And then also Cyclops and Angel's belts, they are smaller than Jean's and Beast's, so they're not all exactly the same, but they're fine because at least they come with the belts with the X-Men logo on it. But as you can see, we have a very good size difference here, you know, being Beast taller, and then Iceman and Marvel Girl are a little smaller, so that's how they look together. Let's get on with the review. So on with the review, and first up, the body mold. It is the Bucky Cap body mold, and a lot of people are actually saying that it should have been this guy. Now this is Superior Spider-Man from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Infinite Series Marvel Legends line. Essentially, it's just a little bit smaller, it's a little bit thinner, and generally just looks like a bit of a younger body mold. And obviously, these guys were teenagers, sort of, you know, late teens, but you know, they're going to be muscular and whatnot, and this mold still is pretty muscular. It's just these guys are super ripped, so him and Cyclops, they use the Bucky Cap mold, and just, I don't know, I like the scale and everything in comparison to the other guys, like you saw there. That's accurate, like when you look at the box and whatnot, but this guy, you know, definitely too ripped. So when you look at the figures on their own, and they're perfectly fine, but when you put them next to someone like Jean, she's a very good teenage girl sort of size and build, and that's obviously an older man, and it's just it just doesn't really suit the set as a whole, really. So I definitely think that Cyclops and this guy Angel should have used this body mold, really. But on the whole, apart from that, very good. We're just going to go over the wings real quick. They just peg into the hole on the back of the Bucky Cap mold, and I'll just set it down. This is another thing that's a little bad. Even on the box art and whatnot, they are much bigger and a little bit wider. Yes, they do not come with much paint app. I do believe, looking at them, they have a slight little bit of a wash, but it's very slight, and it, to be honest, might just be because they are really deep lines and whatnot, all in the shade. But they're not a brilliant white. As you can see, if I put them down, this desk is white. This is kind of like a kind of creamy kind of white, so very good colour for his wings, but definitely a good mold too, but just definitely need to be a bit bigger if they are going to be static wings. I'm fine with them being static wings because it's part of a box set where they're obviously trying to save a bit of money and reusing molds and whatnot, but I do wish that they had sort of passed those savings on to us and made the box set a little bit cheaper. For me in the UK, buying it from America and then with the shipping and whatnot, it's still cheaper than buying individual Marvel Legends. So for me in the UK and for people elsewhere in Europe, these sets are a really good price, but for the base prices in America, where you don't get taxed and whatnot as much on figures, then definitely, yeah, it's not very good in comparison to normal Marvel Legends prices. As you can see, no shading on the back of the figure, but you get lots of that orange shading on the front. Now, a lot of people's angels' faces are quite bad. Mine, as you can see, he's not cross-eyed or anything like that. His eyes are actually done really perfectly well. Very nice blue eyes. So on mine, he doesn't look like a complete retard. However, he does obviously have that smirk, which I wish he didn't have. I wish he was more serious, because everyone else's face sculpts are very serious, and then this guy has this smirk. So if they're all stood next to each other, he still does stick out compared to the others. But mine's not completely retarded, which I do quite like. He has the moulded ears, although unlike Beast, you can't see like stretch marks or anything behind the ears, it's just moulded ears, and you still get that nice line across the top. Orange shading on the yellow, looks pretty good. You get it all over except for just in the waist area, which is covered by the belt anyway, which doesn't look that bad, and then you also don't get it on the hips, but you get it quite nicely down here on the boots, and then the actual shoe part of the boot is not actually too bad. On Jean, it's quite a difference because this is very orange and then this is very yellow. On this one, this is slightly darker and there's not as much orange as well, so it blends in nice. So it's the Bucky Cap mold, but obviously you can see he's got the cuffs from the Patriot mold, and then he's got a hand that can hold a gun, and then just a general kind of clenched hand as if he's holding something. So, alright, I wish it was just two fists, to be honest, because Angel's not going to be holding anything. Articulation, standard for the Bucky Cap mold. Head moves left and right, up and down. You've got the up and down at the shoulder and a full 360. You have swivel at the bicep, double jointed arms, a little hindered by the wrist piece there. I'll just take the wings off. The wrist goes a full 360 round and round, and then it has an in and out at a hinge. Ab crunch, very good, so it comes back a little bit, but it's not too bad anyway because you're going to have the wings on there anyway. But front ab crunch, very, 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 very good. Moves left and right at the waist, and then you have forward and back at the leg. They come out to do the splits, although not full. They rotate at the thigh. They have a double jointed knee. Moves at the boot left and right, and then the foot can go up and down and has an ankle pivot. He also has peg holes if you have a base to put him on, which is needed, to be honest, because when you put the wings on him, it does weigh him down a little bit, and the ankles and so on aren't the strongest on the Bucky Cap molds. After a while they do loosen up, so you may have to chicken leg him a little bit at his ankles, you know, and then bring him up at the waist and whatnot. You can still make it look like he's standing up straight, but if you look at it from the side, you will be chicken legging him a little bit. But for the most part, I don't think that this is as bad as people are saying. I've got a little bit of yellow showing through the blue there, but not much. The shading on mine is done well. However, I must say, I would prefer a larger belt. I'd prefer him not to have the smirk, and I would like either larger wings or just, you know, wings that can move, and then it wouldn't be that bad because they'd unfold out. So I think that as a part of the box set, it's very good. If this was sold on its own, I would say steer clear of it, but obviously, if you like your X-Men in these suits like me, then it's your only option for going for it, because the only other ones were pre-Marvel Legends Toy Biz ones that everyone keeps saying that, you know, they'd rather have those instead of these because of how bad these are. But I actually find that they're just following the herd, they're acting like sheep, and everyone's hating on this thing to look good. I do actually think that, you know, if you like these suits, That's the reason why you're going to buy them. It's an updated version. They don't need new molds. They don't need this, that, and the other because they're not sold singularly. So I think that the only bad thing is just quality control here and there on other people's. Mine's fine, and just overall the price. So yeah, I think it's a good figure, and I hope you guys too. And I hope that taking a look at mine and seeing how mine is a lot better than some others that have really badly done eyes and really badly done shading and whatnot. And I just hope that this has made you think twice about this box set and maybe that you want to get it. But thanks for watching. If you want to see the other reviews in this set, then go ahead and check the link in the description of this video. And if they're not up yet, then go ahead and subscribe and you'll be notified exactly where they are. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time, guys.